Hi, I'm Dr. Susanne Mohnkern, class of 1977. I'm currently professor of nursing in the School of Nursing at Roberts. As you may have heard by now, Roberts celebrated its 150th year last year, and one of the projects around the milestone year was a volume of papers that was published this fall. Faculty from many disciplines here on campus contributed to earnest, interdisciplinary work inspired by the life and work of B.T. Roberts. I participated in the project, and as I was reading some of the things that B.T. wrote as he was starting the school, one sentence stood out to me. He wrote, "A number of persons, desirous of doing all the good in their power, undertook to establish a school in which all shall be done that can be done to train up youth to habits of piety, virtue, industry, and economy, while they are acquiring the elements of a sound education." Those four habits, piety, virtue, economy, and industry, stood out to me as still important, pertinent today. B.T. believed that those values were critical in the training up, as he called it, of youth, and I wondered what connection still remains to those habits. We certainly want our graduates to have developed their piety or to have become more like God while they're here. We don't necessarily call it piety today, but that's what B.T. meant. And the values and ethics are absolutely essential in the work of a nurse. And of course, nursing school and fulfilling the role of a nurse are hard work. We need to be industrious and economical and good stewards, so I was interested in whether or not those values or habits are found in the secular and Christian nursing literature, and how those habits and values show up in our current undergraduate nursing program, how we might do a better job of imparting those habits to our learners. So I reviewed the literature and I interviewed some alumni and faculty and found many interesting connections between 1866 and today. Students gave us some ideas of what works well in our curriculum and some ideas for how we can improve these areas. One thing that stands out to me as I look at the data that I collected and think about the School of Nursing we have today is the great foundation that Dorothy Whittingham laid for us. You know, she didn't have it easy in the 1950s as she was starting this program. Not everyone thought nursing should be in a four-year liberal arts Christian school, but she demonstrated what it meant to be tuned into what God wanted for her and to be very open and upfront with people. That was her ethic. And of course, to work very hard and effectively on this program of establishing, this project of establishing an outstanding nursing program that is still known today for preparing outstanding nurses. We have this span of history at the School of Nursing with Dorothy Whittingham here for 30-some years, providing leadership for a sound base. And then Dr. Carol Kenyon, the next chair, saw the need in the early 1990s to have a program for associate degreed nurses to achieve their bachelor's degree while they continue to work. So she developed that innovative curriculum and that program, our RN2BS program, which today is going strong and has over 1,000 alumni. In the early 2000s, when I took over the chair role from Dr. Kenyon, we looked at next steps for what was then the Division of Nursing and decided to develop a graduate program, which has been going for over 11 years. We offer a nursing leadership administration track, a nursing educator track, and we just added a nursing informatics track. That program has over 260 alumni. So during the time we were establishing those newer programs, our traditional undergrad program grew exponentially. Technology became a really big part of nursing education, and we rapidly outgrew our laboratories. We're so pleased to have moved into our new space with the opening of the Crothers Science and Nursing Building and the renovation of Smith Hall. The laboratories are beautiful. We have 12 beds in the practice lab, so we can accommodate 24 students practicing skills at the bedside. There's a central area in that lab for more formal teaching sessions, and we have low and medium fidelity mannequins. The stations mimic acute care settings and used for many courses. One of the exciting uses of the space, each spring it's turned into an emergency room setting for the senior nursing students as they participate with the social work and criminal justice students in an interdisciplinary simulation that challenges all of the learners to deal with a number of emergent patient-family situations. The alumni I spoke with look back on that experience as a great way to learn and prepare for the challenges of working with a real interdisciplinary team in the real world. Across the hall from the practice lab in the new Crothers building, we have the Dorothy Whittingham Simulation Center. Dorothy was the first to bring computers into an academic division back in the 80s, so I know she would be pleased that we have this beautiful center full of sophisticated, state-of-the-art, high-fidelity mannequins where students and faculty participate in simulation scenarios and debriefings. We also have a small studio apartment in that setting where students participate in mock home visits with patient actors to prepare themselves for the critical role of helping patients and families with self-care in their homes. Nursing students have hands-on learning and get to think through their care of the patient and the family in a safe environment. Add to that the recent Smith Hall renovation, we have great space to work in and welcome guests and prospective students. So it's been a real blessing and a boon to the School of Nursing to have these new spaces. If you haven't seen them, stop by. We'll be happy to give you a tour. Our current dean, Dr. Cheryl Krotzer, is leading the school to move forward in a number of areas. We have new programs in nursing informatics, as I mentioned, and a new traditional undergraduate curriculum has just been approved by the state. We're anticipating the innovations that are coming with the new courses. So now, with well over 2,000 graduates from all the programs in the School of Nursing, we're looking forward to what the future holds. We're exploring a number of possibilities. It's really exciting to think about what will happen as we move forward into the next decade.